Welcome back to the Worst Beyond the Magic, the Disney podcast where we go beyond the magic and help you set realistic expectations for your Disney vacation. Today, we're going to take a wild trek through Animal Kingdom.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're joined by a very special guest and the very first guest that we've ever had and our very young podcast of 4 episodes along here. We're joined today by my sister, our very first true Disney insider. Allison is a former Disney cast member who worked at Animal Kingdom and later in guest relations. She's seen everything from stroller rage to heat exhaustion to flight of passage, emotional breakdowns, and at least one person asking where Hogwarts is.
Welcome, Allison.
This is the worst beyond the magic. Today, we're joined by a very special guest, someone I know very well, my younger sister, Allison. I'm going to let Allison talk in just a second and explain her Disney story and all things she knows about Animal Kingdom. But again, this is our very first guest on The Worst Beyond the Magic. So, Allison, go ahead, take it away. Tell us a little bit about your Disney story.
Sure. Thank you again for having me. My Disney story starts in the early ages of 2010. I joined the Disney College program, was convinced by, fun signage, NRA. I knew I got paid. My Disney College program was one that was really unique, and I'm really lucky for it. It started in the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique at Magic Kingdom. There's only about a handful or more of, they're now not called fairy godmothers in training, but when I was there, that's what the name was. Started in 2010, then I became a recruiter on campus. So did my Disney college program. I loved it so much that I came back to my college up in Milwaukee and recruited on campus with a handful of friends and former cast members, but also Disney lovers. We all had different stories to tell. Some of us from like food and beverage, some of us from merchandise, and then myself that had the boutique experience. Then decided after college that I didn't want to shovel the snow. So after a year, I moved down back to Florida and was set into the Pirates League part-time, which RIP Pirates League. But Pirates League was one of the best positions I had at Disney. I taught preschool on the side as well and loved doing that too. So riding the line between like the magic and also, learning our ABCs was a lot of fun. But as a pirate, I was able to do transformations for everyone from 3 to 100. It was the best time, but turns out that didn't pay super well. So I was actually moved up to a coordinator for merchandise. Adventureland Liberty Square was the sectioning at the time. It is no longer, but went on to do that. Then applied for guest relations in Animal Kingdom. Was onboarded, and then within 6 months, unfortunately, my TA, which is a temporary assignment, was over, and I went back to merchandise, said, this isn't for me anymore, no thank you. Applied to go back to the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, this time at Disney Springs, where I was a full-time coordinator. And then after a few years, I loved the princesses, but knew I wanted to be back where the magic happened in guest relations. So applied for guest relations again, this time a full-time position, and went back to Animal Kingdom. Luckily, they took me back, so I was really lucky to do that. And that's actually where my career ended, was in guest relations in Animal Kingdom because of COVID. I was furloughed to a layoff with thousands of other cast members.
That's unfortunate. Disney did lay off quite a few cast members, and I know you actually were invited back to be a cast member again towards the end of the pandemic, or when Florida started to open back up. But you had moved on and since left Disney from there. But we had a good 5 years. It was great to visit Auntie Allison while we were down there with our young kids. I got to go to the park for free, and my children got to see their aunt. So it was a win-win situation for all of us. We had a great time while it lasted, and I know, Allison, it really shaped your career moving forward in the theater network and entertainment. Having that Disney experience on your resume certainly has helped you from where you are today.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. I loved Pirates League, by the way. That was fantastic. My daughter did the transformation into a mermaid, and it was
Oh, nice.
glorious. Yeah, she loved it. Hey, can you tell us one of your favorite memories as a cast member?
There are so many. I know DAS, which is the Disability Access Service, is like a tricky conversation to have a lot of the time. I've seen a lot of abuse with the system, but I've also been a part of some really great moments. And there was one that I had this lady, it was like at the end of my shift. I was so tired. I was up at this little kiosk, just alone and like ready to, fall asleep and close the park and be done. And she came up and we're talking and she had an accent to her. And I was like, "Oh, where are you guys visiting from?" And she was like, "Ireland." And I said, "Oh, I would love to go to Ireland. It's on my to-do list." And she and I just got talking and, her son had some needs for the access pass, so we kind of set them up throughout the week. And she and I just had such a good conversation that she gave me a giant hug when she left, and actually slipped me her address in Ireland, and was like, "If you ever come out my way, you please let me know. Here's our address. I want to like have a cup of tea with you. I want you to know like you don't have to travel alone here, and like you have friends across the pond." I was like, "Oh." So that was probably one of my favorite memories, is like, wow, this is this is so cool. I, you know, was nice and myself and got into a conversation with someone from Ireland, and like now I have an invitation to go out there. That's very cool.
That's
But yeah, that's
fantastic. Did
probably
you
one of
ever
my
make it
faves.
out there?
No.
There's still
She will.
time.
She'll get
No,
there. She'll
I
get there.
would love
Yeah,
to.
she will. Yeah.
Well, we don't say
And
this
that
enough, and I want to make sure we say it is treat the cast members as well as you can. And we have a testament here with
Please.
Allison speaking with us, and thank you again for being here. But just want to make sure, and we should say this in every episode, that you got to treat the cast members. They're out there, they're working hard. And we'll talk about one of the worst things about Animal Kingdom is the heat, and it stays hot. So it can be really hot. And those cast members are out there all day working hard. So treat your cast members well. And you never know, you might find a lifelong friend.
Yeah, a lot
yeah,
of them are away from home for the first time too. Like, you got to think those young college kids, they get, I'm not going to say sold this dream of working for Disney, but that's kind of what it is, right? And they get swept away from home for a lot of them for the first time, a lot of them first full-time jobs. And you realize like, oh, Disney is a workforce on top of being magical.
and that's truly what creates the magic for people. Like Pete is saying, be nice to your cast member. They have, and you, Allison, especially, you had a lot of power as a guest relations cast member to create that magic for the guest. And it's unfortunately you saw abuse with DAS, and it is what it is today, unfortunately. But you also created a lot of happy moments and a lot of magic for a lot of people, and that goes unseen by a lot of time by Disney. A lot of time, you have the power to do that, and you make somebody's day just by smiling and just by being yourself. And that's truly what makes Disney the best is the people that work there. So thank you for that.
I would agree. One of my other top memories is getting up really early and canoeing the rivers of America and Magic Kingdom with a bunch of other cast members. And like we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. And it was the best time and the best memory. And you're so right. It is the cast members that make that place.
That sounds like a pretty rad experience.
It was the
That's
best.
pretty cool. Let's move into our Animal Kingdom setup. I think all of us would agree that and Disney's Animal Kingdom is the most beautiful Disney park out of all of them. It is the hottest Disney park. Um, would you say it's the most relaxing out of all of them because of the scenery?
I feel like it depends where you go, right? Like if you're headed over to non-existent Dinoland, it's not going to be the most relaxing. You
True.
got like
R.I.P.
arcade games and
Dinoland.
stuff going on,
Yeah,
right? Like,
it's right.
Animal Kingdom is sneaky hard. I would not say it's relaxing because and it's not set up in a circle. Nothing is super easy to kind of navigate to. So you're going to think, okay, this is a half day park, and you're still going to put in 25,000 steps.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, this is the park where people accidentally walk 12 miles before lunch, easy in a day, just by trying to get to all the different lands in the park for sure.
Very much so.
And we'll talk a little bit about it, but the treks where you're walking to see the animals and not just the rides, it adds those steps in there. So be prepared for that. All right, let's talk about the first segment, the future of Animal Kingdom. Want to we're gonna talk about Tropical America that's opening in 2027 because as Allison just mentioned, Dino Land is no more. We've lost the dinosaur ride, we've lost Primeval Whirl, which I was a fan of. I know a lot of people weren't, and the Boneyard. So do you all want to help me discuss some of that and the future of Animal Kingdom?
Of
I'm really
course.
excited. I never liked Dino Land. I don't know if it's a hot take or not. Here's the backstory to Dino Land, and a lot of people don't know this. But if you paid attention and walked through the land and looked down at your feet, you would have seen like fossils and or dinosaur footprints on the ground as you're walking through Dino Land, or that led to Dino Land. The backstory of that is that a theme park or a carnival was built, and as they were building a carnival they came upon a lot of dinosaur bones, so they kind of built a carnival over where the dinosaur bones were but left a lot of the bones out in public to see. That's the whole backstory. Not many people know that or understand that or ever understood that was kind of a Disney a hidden thing. But again, I just never thought it felt like it fit at all. It just seemed out of place to me. I really did love Primeval World. I thought that was a great roller coaster. I don't know. I guess people hurt themselves on that, and that got taken away pretty early. I always enjoyed it. My kids love Dino Land. I didn't love Dinosaur. Allison, did you like Dinosaur?
I grew to love dinosaur.
You grew to love Dinosaur? Yeah, and I think all of us could probably quote the scientist in the end of that, right?
Hmm.
Especially when he had the little T-Rex puppet at the very end of that. Uh, anyway, I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with that side of the park, and I think introducing an Encanto into that side, it's only going to get better. I love the fact I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan. Obviously, we talked all about Star Wars last episode and Han Solo. Of course, Harrison Ford is the hero in Indiana Jones. It's one of my favorite movies and trilogy series. Actually, more than a trilogy. I'm excited to see what they do with Dinosaur. It's the exact same ride track, and for those of you that are Disneyland fans, Pete being one of them, and I know Allison's been as well. We've all ridden Indiana Jones out in Disneyland.
The Disneyland ride for Indiana Jones is spectacular. I love it, and I love Indiana Jones. What is interesting to me is Animal Kingdom didn't have a lot of rides that were associated with existing stories. And so now this is going to kind of up it with the Indiana Jones ride and the Encanto attraction. It brings a little bit more. I mean, as you know, it's mostly animal and country related, which is great, but this will add a little bit more of that Disney element in there.
I do. Obviously, Dino Land was meant to be a family uh, getaway, right? Um, the whole idea of that carnival that just kind of stayed put. That's why we ran into those carnival games. That's why we had Triceratops spin. Um, but now I think we are looking for something that is family based, and Encanto's right there. And I am so excited. I loved that movie. Love the family aspect of it, and loved what it kind of stood for. And I think it's going to add a lot to that park, uh, especially the right side of the park. Obviously, the left side's good. But Indiana Jones, if it's anywhere near Disneyland, it's going to be top tier. It's going to be amazing. I have no issue in adding Indiana Jones. I love the movies. I don't have as much, like, I was a little later in the 90s, so I don't have as much nostalgia uh, with it. But they're great movies. The ride in Disneyland is absolutely beautiful and well done. And uh, I'm really excited to see it at World.
Your time at Animal Kingdom, did you feel like Dino Land was outdated from a cast member perspective when you were there?
Yes and no. I think we tried our best adding a lot of I was gonna say some of like the Christmas stuff that was added out there. I was also there for the rollout of like the pajama party season of uh Chip and Dale and joining that, like they wanted to be dinosaurs. It was a cute addition, right? But I think our arms hurt from stretching too far. I wouldn't say outdated because it depended. It depends who you were or like who you were with. Um, there were, if you are an Instagram girly, there are so many photo apps with the Christmas lights out there. But if you are, a family and you've got teens and like Dinoland's a skip for you, besides the Finding Nemo musical.
Jamie, with all the inclusion of this new stuff, I understand there's some big news coming to Animal Kingdom.
There is some big news. I know it's not your favorite to talk about. Just so you know, when I presented the outline for today's podcast to Pete, he's like, we really have to talk about Bluey. I'm like, Pete, yes, we really have to talk about Bluey.
How can you not?
Bluey is coming to Disney's Animal Kingdom. See, Allison even wants to talk about Bluey. Beginning May 26th, coming up here in a few short days. We're recording on Sunday, May 17th. Bluey and Bingle are coming to Disney's Animal Kingdom as part of Disney's Cool Kids Summer. They're going to be located at Rafiki's Planet Watch, I know, which is kind of an odd place in the park, and it's really kind of difficult to get to. So I'm not sure what Disney was thinking when they decided to put Blue and Bingo all the way on that far side of the park. But hey, here we are. That's what they decided to do. So let's talk real quick on how to get and how to experience when they introduce something new. You're going to be able to do it with a virtual queue. So at 7 a.m., there's no need to be in the park from your My Disney Experience app. You can join the virtual queue to meet Bluey and Bingo. If you are already inside Animal Kingdom from your My Disney Experience app, you can join the virtual queue from that at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. that'll drop. Guests must take the Wild Express train in Africa near Harambe Market out to Rafiki's Planet Watch in order to experience Bluey and Bingo at that point. I think it's going to be a great addition. I mean, they fit. Clearly, they're from Australia, and they both fit the land. And I think it's going to be a great addition to Hollywood, or excuse me, to Animal Kingdom. I still have Hollywood Studios under mine because it's my favorite park.
I love Rafiki's area, so I think that's a good spot to put him because not a lot of people actually make the trip to get out there, but this will be a huge draw for people to get out there. And I make fun because, you mentioned it. Well, your daughter's 5 and she's really into Bluey. My daughter's 18 and we haven't, but that same experience when we went and we saw and were able to meet Phineas and Ferb when she was young, I feel like it's comparable. But I'll take Phineas and Ferb over Bluey still. But I'm excited to see it. And I'm excited for Rafiki's area there.
If your kids love Bluey like mine do, and I'm 41 years old, I like Bluey. It's a lot of fun to watch it. There are a lot of great adult jokes in that show just to watch it. If your kids love Bluey, this could become one of the hardest experiences to get at Walt Disney World. And that's often the case when they introduce something new.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the park opened on Earth Day of April 22nd, 1998. It's great to see that they're still constantly improving, but we got to get into it. We got to get into the worst. The whole reason we're here, the worst and to best rides for Animal Kingdom. And we're going to start off. And there's a short list right now with some of the rides closed, but I don't know. We've got this one on the bottom of our list. I don't necessarily agree with it, but everybody in my family does. They do not like to get wet, and I'm like, let's do this thing. So number 6 of the worst is the Cali River Rapids. I think it's a great queue. It's a nice ride. You get there's a random soaking. So like you're either going to get misted or you're going to get drenched. And I love it. I love it. And it's usually
no
someone
in between,
no, there's no in between. There's someone in my family that just gets so miserable when they come out of there. But that's our number 6. I like it, but it's ranked the worst. How about you, Jamie?
I think moving on from there, Pete, and I have to agree with you. Listen, I have never been on Cali River Rapids because I don't want to get. I've never been on. I don't want to get soaked. I don't want to get soaked, and then I'm sorry, I don't want to get.
I've seen you and drag your wife onto Tiana's.
Oh yeah,
in the cold, and you got soaked on that one.
We got drenched on Tiana's. We got drenched, and the best part about that is that I told my wife Ani, I was like, "Don't worry, you don't get wet at all." She was soaked from head to toe and livid with me after that.
It was
my God.
And
we got and the picture of us at the drop is priceless.
For me, Cali River Rapids is a ride that I really enjoy personally, but a lot of how do I put this nicely? A lot of people don't read about Cali River Rapids, and then they walk their drenched butt all the way to guest relations and are mad that they're wet. And I'm like, did you read? Sorry. So I love it. I think it's so fun. I'm prepared. But, unfortunately, a lot of people are not. So, yes, Cali River Rapids is a ride you will get wet on.
Cast member insider information. I love it.
You will get wet. I can only imagine what that walk of shame looks like getting off that ride, which I'll never take, by the way, because I don't want to get drenched. Moving on to number 5 is Navi River Journey. This is a beautiful attraction. Disney did a really good job. The animatronic at the very end of the ride is probably one of the coolest things you've ever seen. There, it's what's curious about this ride is the wait times. If you start your day off in Pandora, which we'll talk about in just a second, a lot of people go from Flight of Passage right to Navi River Journey, which is the way I would recommend doing that. But because of that, it gets such a huge wait. If you don't have a lightning lane for this, I wouldn't, unless you have small kids with you and you need to for the height restrictions because they can't ride anything else, then it's a great run to do. But I don't think I would spend up to an hour waiting in line for this one. It's more of a relaxing boat ride, but it is a beautiful atmosphere. It is very pretty. It's like a meditation sequence for like, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes in that ride, but it's very, very nice. But it often, what's there just doesn't justify the wait.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Jamie. So this would be number 6 for me. This would be the last one. It's usually a skip for me. I enjoyed it the first time I did it. It is a nice, the perks are it's cool, it's dark, it's a chance to take a little break. It's now time. But unless you partake in some gummies or some extracurricular activities that make you enjoy that light show through the thing, it's a skip for me.
I think we just moved the podcast from PG to PG-13 just now by mentioning that. Of course, what Pete's talking about is gummy bears, ladies and gentlemen. He's talking about gummy bears, just so you all know, just so we're clear on that. Anyway, Allison, what are your thoughts?
Sugar high.
Yeah, that's right. Don't never do the gummy worms. Those will get you. It's a lot of sugar. Navi River Journey for me, I 100% agree with you. It is a great ride. There is some really cool water bottle refill stations in the queue line. But that's all I got for you. It's a fun boat ride. Do it late at night, honestly. You said morning, but go late at night. Like the whole point is to see the bioluminescence of Pandora at night. Obviously, Animal Kingdom has to be open past a certain hour for that to happen, but hopefully you catch it on a day that it's there long. It is absolutely beautiful and like jaw dropping at night.
I agree. It is a beautiful place at nighttime. Next one on the list, Pete.
The next one on the list, now we're getting into some real ones. I'm even wearing my Expedition Everest shirt right here. But number 4 on our list is a fan favorite, roller coaster, Expedition Everest. It's a great queue. You get that single rider. You can get in there a little bit faster. We were talking about this earlier before the podcast. That Yeti deserves his own backstory, his own documentary. I would love to know how he got there. What made him so angry? And why are there so many ponytail holders on the top of his mountain?
I don't know why. That's exactly why he's angry. I would be angry if people did that on my mountain. That's exactly why I was angry.
It is just one of the best rides. Honestly, this is probably up there for me in like 2 or 1. You mentioned the queue, Pete, and a fun fact: there is a lot of artifacts that are true to like finding the Yeti in that queue line. If you're familiar with the show Expedition Unknown, there is in one of the cases some of the things that they found on that TV show in the case in the queue line at Animal Kingdom.
That's really cool. That's some insider knowledge right there. I love Expedition Unknown, Josh Gates. I think for me it's a must do for sure. And if you're thinking about a rope drop strategy, if you don't have an Avatar Flight of Passage lightning lane or individual lightning lane, which we'll talk about next, I think going direct to Expedition Everest is a great second one to go to right away. And if you rope drop that, you can easily get on that ride once, twice, 3 times back to back to back if you want, because there's nobody over there. Everyone is running to Avatar Flight of Passage. So it's a great one to rope drop for sure. Next one on the list at number 3 from worst to best is Kilimanjaro Safaris. Pete, you want to take it away?
Yeah, Kilimanjaro's I would put number one, and I'll tell you why. Everybody's going to say Pandora's number one, or Flight of Passage is number one, and I'll tell you why that's not my number one when we get to it. But the safari is great. I will go on it every single time I'm there. I'm looking forward to it. I've already got it planned. I will lightning lane it. I will pay for it. I'll wait in line for it. I think it's the whole point of Animal Kingdom for me. Like you're going to go, you want to see the animals, you're seeing them in their element. Like the truck has been stopped because of a black rhino standing in front of us. Like I've had a giraffe that you're not supposed to reach out and touch him, but I could have if I wanted to. I definitely didn't jump off the truck to go bathroom. So that was
We
good.
all saw that. I was hoping you bring that up.
But I do. Kilimanjaro Safaris is great for me, and you get a different experience every time. And if you go in the morning, it's really that's the highlight for me.
Allison, do you think the best time to ride that is right away in the morning?
It depends, right? Again, it's a later attraction in the evening. Um, I've been on during feeding time. I've been on after, and like either right in the morning or late at night, you'll get two different rides. It's definitely worth doing it twice in one day. I feel I'm right there with Pete. It's one of my favorite rides, and then it leads to conversations about like Wild Africa Trek, conservation. Animal Kingdom is my favorite park, not just because I work there and like have all these memories and all this family that works there still. But it is also like an educational park, which sounds so silly, but I absolutely adore what Wilderness Explorers are doing. Wild Africa Trek does the spiel that you get on Kilimanjaro Safari for conservation. It's huge. It's a conversation that we should be really having a lot. And yeah, I really enjoy the message that Animal Kingdom has, but especially Kilimanjaro Safaris.
I totally agree. It's more of an edutainment part of the park, and I think Animal Kingdom's safaris is the pinnacle of Animal Kingdom itself. I think, like Pete and Allison are saying, every time you take that ride or every time you take that experience, it's more of an experience than it is a ride. You're seeing something different every time you go, and I think a memory for me going on that ride is with my young children. We were passing the Africa section, and we were going toward. We could see their version of Pride Rock, and when there were some lionesses out there, and there was the King of the Jungle himself was out there, and he stood up as our truck was passing and let out a like unbelievable loud roar, and you could feel that in your chest when he did that. That was impressive, and I was like, man, how did they train him to do that? But they're just out there being themselves, and they're used to people driving past them all day long, and they're just living their best lives there at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Then they do an excellent job, to Allison's point, of taking care of them and then teaching you about conservation and how some of these animals are endangered. And we'll talk about that a little bit later down the list. But we have to talk about, before we get to that, we have to get to our number 2, which is on the list, of course, is Avatar's Flight of Passage. I mean, this ride it's unspeakable, the experience that they put you through. Pete, what do you think about the Avatar?
While it might not be number one on my list anymore, it is one of the best rides that Disney premiered, especially when they premiered it. It was amazing. The experience, the immersion, the queue, everything for me it's still a very amazing ride. I think the problem that I'm having recently is that I'm either in the wrong spot or I'm getting bad 3D glasses, or the technology is starting to not be as cutting edge as it was, because every time I'm on my Banshee and flying through the area, like I just can't see as well. And maybe I'm too old. Maybe that's what's happening. But um,
Listen, I wasn't going to throw you under the bus, but I think that might be you're creeping up there, and your eyesight might not be as good as it used to be. So
but I'd be curious to know what everybody else thinks at this point.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on it. But I joined the team right after like the opening cast of Pandora. So I was still right in the height of Pandora fever, as I'll call it. And it was the ride that was the game changer. That Pandora fever, everybody wanted a fast pass for it. And if they weren't going to get it, it would ruin their day. Like if they could not get in this ride, it was the worst day they've ever had. So that as a young, 20 something. I was like, oh God, I ruined their day. I can't get you on this ride because I can only give out so many, you know, fast passes a day. I'm so sorry. But then you get into like tips and tricks of stuff, right? A lot of people and a lot of the cast members will tell you like, go right before closing. It's if it's an hour wait, 3 hours earlier, it'll be a 15-minute wait. Like you'll walk through the queue. Um, it's all about those little things that people don't realize. Like, oh, if I just wait in line, I'll get on the ride and it'll be fun. For me, as somebody who has a bigger body, Avatar Flight of Passage was really nerve-wracking. But it is a great ride and definitely one that everybody should be able to experience.
Let's talk about rope drop strategy for just a second. If you don't have an individual lightning lane for this one, you can, like Allison is saying, you can stand in the queue, which is beautiful, by the way. And a lot of it is indoors, so you're going to get a break from the break from the heat. You're going to get AC. A lot of that pre-show, the entire pre-show is indoors. But if you don't, if you do buy that your individual lightning lane for that, I know Allison used the word fast pass, so that will slip here and there, but it's changed so many different times, their terminology. But it's a great rope drop. A lot of times, if you can get there early, and everyone goes to that ride right away, or if you don't want to do that, like Allison is mentioning, and this is a great strategy, reverse rope drop. And ride it later on in your day before the park closes. And I know Allison can mention when that park closes. It's rather early, right? Usually, what's the time normally that park closes?
It depends. I know, like for summer time, it's usually around 8. But it's other times, especially now with Dinoland being down, it's going to be earlier, probably about 6.
No, the average close time I think was like 7 or 7:30 at night or close to
Yeah.
8 o'clock. But and that goes for any ride across Walt Disney World. If you want to get in that queue line just before close, they're going to allow you to take that ride even after the park closes. As long as you're in the ride before official park close, you're good to go. But this is a great one to rope drop. If you want to buy the individual lightning lane, the first ride I think you should go on, if so you can you're going to get on Avatar, is you go on Kilimanjaro safaris first, right about 9 o'clock in the morning. It's a great time to do that. All right, so I know Allison mentioned just a second ago, she was talking about experiences that are number one on the list. Pete, if you want to take it away.
Yeah, number one on our list for this is the Animal Kingdom experience, and what Allison spoke about, talking about conservation, talking about animals, talking about the good things and the bad things that are going on throughout the world. I think are great. I have done the Wild Africa Trek. What quick plug for Travelmation and being travel agents, like I know we talk a lot about experiences and being bougie, but you can do the parks and you can do everything at a minimal cost. But some of the rare things like Wild Africa Trek is a great worthwhile experience, and we can have that conversation with you. But that trek itself, you get to feed the hippopotamus, you get to see animals you don't normally see. You get to wear the harness and you go over the rope bridges that you see on the Wild Africa Trek. You look up and you can see the rope bridges and you kind of wonder what that's for, or the safari, and you're wondering what that's for. That's for the Wild Africa Trek, and you get to kind of feel like that Indiana Jones out exploring the jungle, and it's great. And in the conservation portion and the conversation of it, and then to keep discussing those important issues that happen throughout the park. Allison, what is your take?
Yeah, there's a reason that Animal Kingdom opened on Earth Day, right? It leads that message to this day in 2026. It's absolutely amazing. You said the Animal Kingdom experience and like hand over the crown. It deserves it. It is one of the most immersive parks for guests. And like, yes, you can walk into Magic Kingdom and be like, oh my gosh, there's a castle that's amazing. And like, I'm in Cinderella's house. There are so many other things in Animal Kingdom that will say, wow, I didn't know that. Or if you're taking a trek and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that they had an endangered, whatever it is. It really does. Animal Kingdom really does take the cake for that experience.
I wish I had more to add to the conversation, but I have something to admit to you all. As many times as I've been to Walt Disney World and as many times as I've been to visit Alice in the Animal Kingdom, I've never gone out of my way to go on any of the experiences or go out of my way to see the Falls Exploration Trail or any of the other animals outside of the safari itself. So I guess I'm a bad podcast host. I don't have much to talk about it, but that's something to look forward to in the future, where I actually will take my time and experience everything else that Animal Kingdom has to offer. One thing that we are forgetting, and it replaced the original opening from 1998, from where the Tree of Life is, the Bug's Life, is Zootopia, Better Zoogether. And I know Pete and you and I saw that back in January where we were for travel mission. We went to that together. What did you think of that new experience?
How was it?
Yeah, I thought it was great. The very similar to A Bug's Life as far as you're still sitting in the same seats, but they've reimagined it, rethemed it, and I think it was a good upgrade.
No, I think they did a fantastic job of reimagining that ride, like you said. If you have small children, I mean, there are some parts of the show. It's not as scary as what A Bug's Life was. There's no killer grasshopper or get stung by bees or any of that that's going on. They did do a good job of trying to make it more family friendly and less scary for little kids. But there is some theater smoke. There's still some loud noises, so just be prepared for that. But they did a great job of turning it into Zootopia, and of course, who doesn't love Shakira? I mean, you get to sing and dance along with her while you're sitting there and in the Tree of Life. So I think it's a great addition to the park.
It's a zoo. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Oh,
Take it
more
away,
music.
Allison. Take it away.
Love it.
No, I have not experienced Zootopia at Animal Kingdom yet. I absolutely adore those movies. Uh, Probably like top 10 for me. This most recent one, Zootopia 2, amazing. So I'm so glad to see them integrated because obviously they are also in the parades at Magic Kingdom, but I didn't see them anywhere else. So I'm really excited that they're actually, joining us at Animal Kingdom.
I
Go
want to
ahead,
go
Pete.
back to what you said earlier about, it's a great illustration of how this park in particular, you can make it whatever you want. So, we used to have, before I got into it, we used to half day it. Like, we're going to get right in there. We'll get right on Everest. We'll do the safari and then get some snacks and take off. But now I think with the knowing about all the little things and the nature trails and the extra things that you can do, we try to take our time with it more. We still get those snacks. I did want to mention, since we're talking about the worst, I'm a little mad at Disney. I don't know if y'all have been there in a little bit, if you're listening. They used to sell corn outside of the safari, and they used to grill it right there and
Yeah.
put all those really great spices on it. Might have been tahini or something. And they closed down the shop, and now they just do it in bulk, and so they don't taste as good. And so I need Disney to go back to the grill outside and get me my corn.
It added such
Allison,
aroma in that area too. I get it.
was there something a part of that park that you really enjoyed as a cast member seeing every day?
Man, I feel like so a lot of my time was stationed up by the tree, and I feel like I saw a different animal etched in that tree every time. Like obviously the big ones, right? But there's a tiny peacock on the corner, and there's an alligator that leads into a hippo. Like it is just so detailed. From everything from the tree of life to one of the treks. Like there is a detail in every section of that park. You can't miss it. And if you do, it's probably slapped you in the face and you didn't realize it.
I really like some of the character experiences at this park. I really enjoy meeting Doug and
Yeah.
Russell.
And Kevin
I
walks the parks and he's
eh,
so cute. She's
yeah,
so cute.
Kevin's a girl.
Hmm.
Who knew? um, some of the really experiences we really like, and this is part of another segment we have. I did do one animal experience, and that was Feathered Friends in Flight, and that is a fantastic show. They do a really great job, to Allison's point, of some entertainment in talking about conservation of the different animals in that show. And the one really cool point about it is a lot of the macaws or the parrots in that are free range. They are not caged. They are not housed by Disney's Animal Kingdom. They are free to roam Orlando as they see fit. But guess what? They continue to come back every single day by themselves because they know they're going to get fed, and be a part of that experience at Disney's Animal Kingdom. So good for them. It's really cool that they just let them be and let them roam as they see fit, and they continue to come back every single day. It's kind of neat. Another one there at Disney's Animal Kingdom, we can't go without talking about Festival of the Lion King. What do you guys think about
Oh,
Festival of the Lion King?
I love festival. Folk, as we call it, Festival of the Lion King. Um, wow. I am a theater person to my core, and to put that show on as many times as they do is so impressive. All of those uh, cast members deserve all of the kudos. They are the backbone of that area. Folk for me is so emotional. It's such a great show, but it is also so immersive and so fun. And there's not a bad thing I can say about it.
They really do a great job of getting you into that. Pete, have you seen that one?
I have. It's really great. It's a Broadway level style. It's just a lot to it. It's really great. And you can't sleep on Nemo's show either. Both of them are great.
Correct.
And Allison, I think you brought up this next one. You mentioned Pandora at nighttime. I wish that Pandora was open a little bit later, but it is stunningly beautiful at nighttime, and that it's a different experience if you go during the day versus if you experience it at nighttime.
Very much so. The that entire section of the park was built to be seen after dark, or even dusk. I mean, just the uh, like if you hit one of the flowers that sounds like a drum when you first get into the park, you get sprayed with a little water, and then like again, I keep saying things are so immersive, but Disney does it correct. They do it right the first time, and then they don't let go. Uh, to have such a legend like Joe Rohde come to the park and actually like map out where things were. So cool. What a fun experience. He came and like uh did all of that as an Imagineer, but then also turned around a couple years later and came back with a book and was there for signing, which wow. It was Pandora Night is just jaw dropping.
I think this leads into what Pete exactly was saying just a moment ago, is that we talk a lot about rides, we talk a lot about going from park to park, especially if you have a park hopper. And Pete, like Pete said, and I'll let him talk about this, is a lot of times people think that Animal Kingdom is a half day park. But he was mentioning, and I'll let him take it away, that there are so many different experiences, and of course Allison is here to talk about them. There are so many hidden gems to this park. You have to slow down, right, Pete?
Yeah, 100%. And with anything, you get out what you put in. So if you want to go and hang out by the pool and have drinks at your hotel, I mean, that's great. And if you want to get in there and just ride Flight of Passage and take off, or if you want to have an entire day with 30,000 steps, and seeing the animals and really understanding all the little hidden gems, getting the viral ice cream and the not so great corn, and then checking out the lion that makes your chest shake. Like it just like it really could be like, for me, like I love this. It's still my favorite as well. And I think with the addition of Bluey and stuff, it'll be interesting to see how much busier it gets.
Allison, what do you think is the most underrated non-ride experience at Disney's Animal Kingdom?
I know. So obviously, Bluey's coming to Rafiki's Planet Watch, right? Um, in that area, people don't realize that there's a full vet that you can watch actual procedures on wild animals. They're if stopping guest relations and ask when a procedure is being done. They have the schedule. So I love to send like little wilderness explorers that way. There's like a giant window that you get to watch and kind of be a part of that. Not only that, but in that same section is if you're into art, there's a full like drawing section. So you sit with a Disney artist. It's a selected character, Mickey, Minnie, Fab Five, or someone in the park. I don't know. It's a day of decision. And you walk away like actually drawing one of the characters. So that's a free takeaway for you. It's not anything you have to pay for. Um, and it is inside, first of all, so there's air conditioning. And second, it is just a unique experience to Animal Kingdom. So those two things top for me when it comes to non-rides.
No, I think that's something great to add for sure. And I think that is the theme of this episode. There's so much other things other than just uh, Avatar or other than just Expedition Everest. If you're a thrill seeker like I am and want to do just rides, there's that for you. And like Pete's mentioned, like we said over and over again, get out there, explore. The wilderness must be explored, right? Like Russell says. There's so many other things out there to see and do and touch and feel and experience in this park. And I think Allison's done a fantastic job of walking us through all those things. There are so many little interesting nuggets that she just mentioned a second ago. It's making me smile to listen to her talk about it because I didn't know a lot of these things as somebody who only pays attention to most of the rides. All right, Allison, this is our last 2 to 3 minutes here. Tropical Americas will improve Animal Kingdom. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so for sure. Can I touch on one thing you
Please do.
mentioned? You mentioned earlier feathered flights, or feathered friends at flight. Um, Pete, I love what you said about just like slow down, take in the park. Um, every morning, those macaws that you were talking about, they have a full opening show that people just miss because they're in a hurry to get somewhere. Literally in front of the tree. Uh, I believe it's about 9 a.m. park open time frame. Um, there's a cast member that's there that works with those birds and will call out to them, and then they like rush themselves through the park and you kind of see them tornado uh throughout, and that's like that is so unique to Animal Kingdom. You'll not get that in any other park. So I wholeheartedly agree with you, Pete. Slow down, take it in. That like make that your morning. Grab a coffee from Starbucks and like just be part of it, right? We're living in their world. It's a wild world out there. So uh that's my 2 cents about like slowing down and taking things in.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I think that's the greatest advice you can give for this park itself and Disney in general.
All right, with the updated rides at Animal Kingdom, do we need more? Is this with the Encanto and the Indiana Jones ride? Is there enough? Our short list of the worst rides was definitely smaller than Hollywood Studios. Do we think have we right-sized the rides at Animal Kingdom?
I think we're in the pocket, guys. I really do. I think leaning in towards that family friendly aspect of like Wilderness Explorers and Up and Zootopia, like I really do think Animal Kingdom's off to the races in becoming one of the better parks.
I'm
Jamie?
excited to see what, to Allison's point, I'm excited to see what they transform it into. As I mentioned earlier, I wasn't super, into Dino Land. Obviously, I had the children right for the age to experience that, and it was cool to put them in the Dino Boneyard and just let them go nuts and have a great time in that place. And I'm sad to see that part go. But the rest, I'm super excited to see how Tropical America improves Animal Kingdom in the long run. And of course, I'm excited for Indiana Jones. Yeah. So next one, Flight of Passage. Flight of Passage is it still worth rope dropping, or do you need that individual lightning lane?
I'm
What's
not
your
going to
rope
rope
drop
drop
strategy?
Flight of Passage anymore. But if you've never done it, I think it's important. I'll go back to what Allison said earlier, and we've kind of said throughout. Don't sleep on going late at night or an hour before park closes. I've gone on Everest 3 or 4 times just before the park was going to close, had a beer, and still had time to go over and enjoy the safari. So that time of night, and you can get the light show. I think it's worth doing that as opposed to rope dropping.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Pete. For me, it's a non rope drop situation. I'm gonna take in the park for what it is and enjoy the experiences around me. Honestly, I might rope drop some of the trails, see if I can get out there with some of the animals.
No, I think that's great. I think that's something that I'm lacking. That I've lacked every time I've enjoyed or cared to experience this park. I've never taken the time to do that, and I hate admitting that. But that's
We're gonna make
that's
this your
just
favorite park by the end of this podcast.
Yes.
I hope for our loyal 30 listeners, by the way, just so you know, we're up a couple from our last episode. So thank you for listening. And thank you for coming back every episode. I hope we make it worth your time. I think this brings an end to our episode. Thank you for listening to The Worst Beyond the Magic. Huge thank you to my sister, a former cast member, for all the little nuggets and insights. Pete, this is going to be a hard one to edit because there's so many, and we're definitely going to go along for sure on this one because there's so many little intricacies that Allison mentioned throughout this entire episode. Thank you for bringing us and giving us a real cast member insight. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Allison.
Thank you guys. I'll leave you with a quote from Walt himself, and it says, "Progress is impossible without change." And I think that's what we're doing at Animal Kingdom. So I'm really, really genuinely excited to see where it goes.
And remember, realistic expectations make magical vacations. This has been The Worst Beyond the Magic.